There we go. Yo, welcome to another episode of the post game. I am your host, Davion, and I am joined with Freddie.
What's good?
And my boy, Matt.
What's up, y'all?
And today we'll be talking about week 5 of the NFL season. It's been a good 5 weeks, y'all. How we liking this year?
We love it.
Yeah.
Football, you know what I'm saying? Great. All these games have been really good.
I have, especially this past week.
I will say a lot of the prime time has actually lived up to it. So,
including Monday night. Like I was first the Colts versus the Ravens. I was like, this is not even a good game. Going to be a good game, and that was by far one of the best games of the season.
Oh yeah, and honestly, it's funny you say that. It's because I feel like a lot of the primetime games. Like the other Thursday night game, Jacksonville and the Bengals, everyone was like, oh, it's going to be a terrible game. Like, why would they do this on a Thursday night? And it became a top game of the week. And so, I think every game this season is going to be a good one. That's just the fun of the NFL, I guess. I think this season has been one of the more competitive ones in recent years.
It has.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah, other than Tampa Bay beating everybody. It's been pretty competitive.
But, Tampa Bay, they're in a league of their own.
Sadly, and it's in our division, right?
Yep. But, I'm not too mad about it. The Bucs were bad for so long, so.
They were. Well, yeah, they were, I guess. Now we just
They're always that team that you knew it wasn't a threat.
Yeah, now they're beating everybody up. But so last week at the end of the episode or the podcast, we all had some bold predictions. And I'm gonna read through them right now. There was one bold prediction from myself that the Chargers were gonna beat the Browns. I was the only person that said they would, and they did. And so I wanna congratulate myself on being a very smart NFL analyst.
Wow. Well, that was a good pick. That was a really good game. Very back and forth.
Yeah. Also, Freddie predicted that Nick Chubb would have 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 1.
I was close. He had 150 yards.
Yeah, no, he had 160 yards.
Yep. He still had a day. That's what I was basically trying to imply.
Matt predicted something that no one thought was going to happen. Matt predicted that the Bears would beat the Raiders, and they did. Wow. So clap it up for Matt.
No one thought that?
Only you. It was just you.
I don't know. I just thought the Raiders were a really good football team, and now they're showing me that all this other stuff that's happening, they're just the same old Raiders team. Yeah.
But also, Matt predicted that Derrick Henry would have 200 rushing yards. That also didn't happen. He had 160, I think.
40 short.
Yeah, 160 he had. But that's still insane for a running back to have 160 rushing yards. And I think this was his third. No, he had 130, but he's still just eating.
It's close.
But yeah, that's our bold predictions from last week. Maybe next week we'll be a little bit better. But yeah, starting off this week, we're gonna start talking about some of the hot trending topics that happened from the time of recording last week. So last week, an insane trade happened. Stephon Gilmore signs with the Panthers for what is that? 3rd or 6th round pick? What was it? I can't remember.
6th round pick for 2023.
Ridiculous. Got him for free.
Love the moves.
Got him for free. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
If you technically look at it, it's technically valued as a 7th.
That's ridiculous. Let's be honest. He's one of the top corners in the league when healthy.
Yes. Yep.
And you got a 7th round pick projected.
You got to give it to the Panthers organization, the moves they're making, man.
I'm not gonna lie, they've had one of the best off seasons I've seen in a little while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because usually they just sit back and watch
everybody else.
Yep. It's so weird seeing them making all these moves. This is probably the most moves in the one season they've made all these moves is probably more than they've made in like
4 years.
Yeah.
Who did they pick up last week from Jacksonville? I can't remember.
C.J. Henderson.
Oh, yeah. That's ridiculous. That's two good signings for the Carolina Panthers, I guess. You know what's so funny is that he was 4th of July. I was downtown, some friends of mine in Charlotte, and I saw him. And I was like, what if he moves here and that's for this offseason? Because I know he's still holding out of the Patriots, and I know he didn't want to go back there. And now look at him. He's a Carolina Panther.
Well, Gilmore, if I don't know if you know this, he had a house in Charlotte, I believe.
Because his wife's family lives here.
Yeah, and he's from South Carolina. He went to I think South Point High School. And then he went to the University of South Carolina. So
he's just at home.
Yeah, he said he always wanted to be here.
Crazy. Absolutely insane. Good for him, I guess. Gonna be just making all this money. Right. Next one. Justin Fields is a permanent starter for the Chicago Bears at quarterback. I think that's a good move that should have happened about a week or two ago.
Week 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I think Matt Nagy still needs to get out of there, though. He's terrible.
They're just stunting his growth, in my opinion. Like, Justin Fields is a very good quarterback, and we're just seeing, like, just a little bit of what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, I agree. But, yeah, good for him and good for that team, I guess. Former Cowboy Jalen Smith signed with the Packers for a 1-year deal. Is that a good pickup for the Packers?
I think so because with Cowboys, they basically released him. Basically, what I'm saying is
they did.
They released him because I think a big problem was they had it's a good problem to have. They just had a bunch of good linebackers.
Yeah, and that contract that he has is too expensive. They're like, hey man, if we can cut dry with him and keep these good linebackers that we have, let's get them gone. And so
exactly
they got him out of there.
Yeah, so I think that's a great signing for the Packers. Another good linebacker they can add to a defense that hasn't been good the past couple seasons.
Agree.
So that's a very good signing for them.
Yeah. The next one, John Gruden resigned last night after emails from 2011 had came out with some racist, homophobic comments that he made. Am I right about that?
Sexist.
Yeah. He like what do you think was gonna happen? I mean, like I understand that it was 2011. I don't understand it was 2011. I think even as a head coach in the NFL in 2011 or 2001, who cares? I think you need to be better about doing that and not put these comments out. It's an email. It can get traced back to you for one. For two, they're just terrible comments to even say.
Yeah.
Poor from them.
I also think it's very funny that basically what happened was it was just very unfortunate because, well, not unfortunate, but it's kind of crazy for him. They weren't even investigating him. They were investigating somebody else that had no correlation with him, and then they happened to dig up this stuff about him.
Yep.
Dang. Yeah, that's unlucky. That's genuinely unlucky. But I mean, I guess that's what happens, man. I mean, you gotta do better than that, John Gruden. Do we think he'll get another job in the NFL?
No, he's done. He's done.
Really? He's done coaching. Period.
Ever. He's not getting another job in the NFL. Ever.
Done.
Wow.
He basically there a whole, and he was talking about Goodell in a whole bunch of
homophobic
ways and whatnot. So I feel like he has no chance, and it's just crazy how we view him now. Before we used to view him as some a coach, he's a good good coach, a well-known. No, not I mean he was pretty good.
He was all right. He got Tampa Bay a Super Bowl.
We're talking about that Gruden. He was good. He was really good at his job. But this Gruden here, I mean, this is third season in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They were kind of stinky. I mean, what, they're 3-2 now? Like,
yeah. But the point is basically it's crazy because it's like, everybody knew who Gruden was. Yeah. He was famous, notorious for Monday Night Football and whatnot, dude. And then he literally resigns on Monday Night Football, like during when Monday Night Football was going on. So it's just, to me, I just don't see him getting another shot at coaching or being an announcer again.
Yeah. I mean, all I have to say, here's a very interesting question for y'all. Seeing Gruden just quit in the moment, resign, then do we think that Urban Meyer should he follow suit and resign?
The problem with Urban Meyer, I think a lot of it is it's I don't know. To me, they're two different situations because really Gruden, he's basically insulting so many different types of people and we're trying to put that in the past, and go up and be positive with all the different things, where opposed to Urban Meyer, he basically was out. Basically, he just went out and was partying like a high schooler. So two different. It's different because it's not like Urban Meyer was insulting anybody with what he did. He just did what he was doing, and that's that. That's how I see it.
I completely agree. Listen. I think the Gruden situation. I think he had no other choice but to resign. But I do think that what's his name? Help me, y'all.
Urban,
yes.
Yeah.
I think Urban. I think he's lost all respect in the NFL because of what he did. And I think he's lost all respect in that locker room. They just lost this past week again, moving to 5-0. I'm at 0-5. So I don't know. We'll see how these guys take it. But yeah, moving on. Juju Smith-Schuster out for the rest of the season after having shoulder surgery this past weekend. Is that a big loss for the Steelers?
I think so. Yeah.
I feel so. Juju's good and all, but he's not. It's not like he's their number one receiver. He's not how he was his rookie sophomore year. It's just Juju, to me, out of all the receivers they have, he's the third option. I'm just being honest. All the other guys they have, to me, are just they're just a lot better than him. So it sucks. Yeah, it's a loss, but it's not a huge loss. If they lost Deontay Johnson or Claypool, to me, that's a bigger loss than them losing.
Or even Najee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they lost Najee, then honestly, when I look at it, Juju is that number one receiver on paper who gets the double coverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it makes the other guys look better. And it's now that Juju's out, it's gonna be some pressure on those other guys, but at the same time, not really, because Juju really wasn't doing the best that he could. And so I guess on and off, it's a 50-50 chance. Well, here's two more ish trending topics. Here's another one. Kickers this past week in the NFL, just in general, they were all terrible. The kickers,
NFL kickers.
Oh yes,
they had a rough showing this past week. Oh my goodness, so many kickers. Just the Colts last night. Their kicker, I know he was banged up. He missed the game-winning kick at the end of the fourth quarter. I know the Saints kicker missed 3 this past weekend. I know Jacksonville's kicker missed 4. It was just the list just goes on and on about how bad it was. And honestly, I don't know what it was. It was just it's a rough night.
Yeah, I don't know. What made it the worst kicking in all the games was the Packers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh.
That was really bad.
What did they miss? A combined of 5 or 6?
Yeah. And the worst part about them, it was they win the game, miss.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were all
to win the game. 2 or 3 of them were game winners, and they all missed. Did Crosby miss 3 or 4 kicks.
He missed 3. He missed an extra point, and then he missed 2 of the game-winning or tying kicks.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then what's the kid's name? I don't know. They're
the Bengals kid. Yeah.
He missed 2 game winners as well. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then the Saints picked up Tony Parkey this past week, thinking that was smart. He missed kicks, of course, this week as well. Like, I don't know what's going on.
And he got hurt.
No. Saints are begging for this bye week that we have this coming up week, so it's gonna be great there. But moving on. Russell Wilson went down this past week with he had a torn ligament in his middle finger.
That was gross.
Gonna miss about 3 weeks to a month ish. I know he had surgery on it yesterday, so hopefully he'll be back and come back soon. But Geno Smith didn't look too bad. After taking he didn't look terrible. He threw that pick, but he didn't look terrible.
I will say Geno Smith, he looked really good. But at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks are where they are at strictly because of Russell Wilson. And Geno Smith he looked good, but he's not no Russell Wilson. He's not going basically that behind that horrendous defense, Geno Smith they have no chance. Geno Smith and the Seahawks, they have no chance of getting anywhere.
No. It's I think they're gonna be home this off season for the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna make it to the playoffs.
They'll be watching.
Yeah. Chiefs lose Carl Edwards-Helaire as well. Just a rough week for injuries.
Rough for my fantasy team too.
Me as well. Actually, I won all of my leagues this week, so clap it up for that. Other than that, it's been a rough week. But last week we said we were going to talk about some of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and I'm going to say my 10, but they're not in order whatsoever. Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson.
Wait, hold on. You put Sam Darnold in your top 10?
No. Did I say Sam
I
Darnold?
hope you didn't.
No.
I heard.
I think I might have said Matthew Stafford.
You said Sam Darnold.
There's no way.
Since there's no order, who do you have at 1?
Oh no! Don't ask me that question. I don't know. Josh.
I put mine in order from 1 to 10.
What's yours in order? Say the first 3 first.
Okay. My top 3 is Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers.
Woo! Are you gonna leave Josh Allen off that list?
For top 3?
Yes.
Josh Allen's 4th.
Okay. We're going off performance right now in the NFL, right?
This year.
Yeah, we're not going off of their legacy or anything. I think you put Brady at 1.
Yes.
I think you put Allen at 2.
Ooh.
Because of what he did to the Chiefs last night. The other night. I think you put Kyler at 3 because of how good he's played.
Mm-hmm.
Dak 4.
No.
I'd
put Herbert, Lamar.
Over Dak?
Oh.
I don't know, man. I think Dak has played too well that he's not top 5. But I put Herbert right after Dak.
See,
that's interesting that you said Lamar though. Lamar's played well, but I don't think Lamar's played.
Also, if Russ wasn't hurt, I'd put Russ over Dak, obviously.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
Well, I will say I do not like Russell Wilson, but he's definitely I would put him over Dak because that whole team. Well, you can even argue Dak is definitely a very big part of their success. We saw how they were without him last year. Terrible.
Yep.
But I think Wilson. I would say Wilson's over Dak. But Dak's having a really good season.
I'm fully just basing it off this season. I feel like Dak is honestly top 5. He's just played lights out. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I can agree with you. These past couple seasons, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I got Mahomes at like 5 or something because he's just had a rough season, a rough start.
All right.
I mean, he's been really good. It's just that Bills game he did horrible, but like everything else, he's been good.
Yeah, they also did have that like 45-minute delay, so that didn't help anybody.
But do I get this? Do I get to say my quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Top 10, 1 to 10.
1 to 10. So I will argue with you. In my opinion, I just think Pat Mahomes is number 2. It's Brady and Mahomes. Wow. That's just how I see it. And then everybody else. Because strictly the fact, he didn't play too good or whatever, but that Bills defense is legit.
They are.
And then if we talking about what Josh Allen did to Kansas City, that Kansas City defense can't stop nobody.
They can't stop a blind man.
They can't stop nobody. Nope. So I'm not discrediting Josh Allen. Josh Allen's one of my favorite QBs. I will say that. But to me, it's Tom Brady, Mahomes, and then everyone else is kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. So who do you have at 3 through 10 then?
So 3 through 10, it's kind of hard because it's like I like Josh at 3, but I feel like I'm forgetting other people as well. If that makes sense, like
Rodgers.
It's just tough. Like Rodgers. He's good. Don't get me wrong.
He had a rough game this last week.
He didn't play too well last week.
He had a slow start.
And, to me this year, it seems like he's doing really lights out against bad defenses. And that's how I see it. Like, with the Saints, he didn't look good. And then this week, he didn't look that good. And then I'm pretty sure last week, wasn't it a close game?
No, Pittsburgh, they killed him, right?
Oh, Pittsburgh.
They beat about 14, I think it was,
Yeah. But then I remember the slow start against the Lions too, and whatever. But they did really. They obviously beat the Lions. The Lions aren't that good. But to me, I just don't have Rodgers top 5 in my opinion. I just don't.
This year.
This year. This year.
I don't either. I don't either. Right now, I don't.
Because to me, except if you're not Brady. If as a quarterback, you have to have that running ability. You have to. All these, if you think about it, the top 10 QBs, at least probably 8 of them are mobile in some capacity.
Yeah.
Like you can't just except when you're Brady. Like obviously Brady, to me, and I can argue and I can give you a whole bunch of reasons why I believe he's the number 1 quarterback out of all of them. It's just the way he's doing this at 44 years old. He's still the game has definitely changed and whatnot, and he's still producing and still playing the game how he plays and playing at a high level.
Yeah,
and that separates him.
I feel like if there's anybody who can do what Brady does and sit in the pocket and deliver dots, it's Aaron Rodgers.
That 100%.
I think he is one of the few that can actually sit in the pocket. He can roll around if he needs to. But he can still deliver that throw that works for him.
Definitely.
So Freddie, where would you have Rodgers then?
Rodgers, I would 8. I'll probably have him at 5.
8?
Ooh. I wouldn't put him at 8. I'd probably put him at 5. Let's
That's
say
fair. Okay.
It would probably be Tom Brady, Mahomes, either Josh or Murray or Josh. Those two are interchangeable.
Yeah, agree.
And then there's Rodgers. And then this is where it gets tricky.
Wait, I got a question.
What's up? All right.
So Herbert's not over Rodgers right now? And listen, and here's the premise. Here's the premise for me. We're talking about this season. We're not talking about their legacy or anything. We're talking about the past 5 weeks. Who has been the better quarterback in the past 5 weeks?
But here, the thing is to me, I really like Herbert.
I do too. You know I do.
Honestly, I think I put Lamar over him. Lamar had a phenomenal game last week.
Herbert did as well.
Last night. But here's the thing. Lamar threw for 400 yards. Still was running the ball as well. Still being elusive in Lamar. Herbert is good. Don't get me wrong. Herbert is having a fantastic year. But to me, I just have Lamar. Lamar has a slight edge to her with Herbert.
Okay, I'm just gonna
say my opinion real quick. Herbert had 400 passing yards, four passing touchdowns, one rushing touchdown, and 29 yards rushing. Like, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, Lamar, I mean, they were down against Indianapolis, yes or no? They had a rough first half. They were down by like what? It was like they were down quick math 22-9.
Right.
But I okay, yes, he had a phenomenal comeback story and he came back and they won the game. But at the same time, he was still down. That's all I'm saying. But okay, fine. Okay. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have that the narrative that Lamar Jackson is better than Justin Herbert.
And another thing I have to go with the two comparisons as well. Look at Herbert's offense and look at Lamar's offense. Herbert has two receivers that are playing at top 10 receiver level right now.
I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair.
No. I'm not saying they are both top 10, but they're playing at a high level.
At a high level. And then
Eckler is doing really well. They have Jared Cook. Yes. Offensive line is very improved. They're very much improved. To me, like Herbert, it's just he has a better arm. Lamar, his number one receiver, can't even catch a cold. Like,
hey, he's improved though.
He went off last night. He went off last night.
He went off last night. I will say that. But to me, he has Mark Andrews and Brown. Brown on a good day. Then don't let me get started on that running back. Like they have like 4 or 5 different running backs.
Yeah, they interchange fast a lot.
Oh yeah, they're all to me like on a good day they're above average. On a good day,
I get it. Listen, my only problem is that like I get that you say that the Chargers have more weapons. I mean, Jared Cook's not Jared Cook's from 5 years ago, so you can't really do much there. He gets the ball four or 5 times a game.
Right. But Allen, he's like the fourth option.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sure. Keenan Allen, he hasn't had the most electric season. I mean, only reason I know this for a fact is because he's on my fantasy league and he only got me 13 points last week. But like,
but you can't go off of fantasy.
But the thing is with Keenan Allen, even though he's not doing that well, it's still Keenan Allen. Teams have the game plan for Keenan Allen. Mm-hmm. Like you can't teams can't be like, oh, he's not having a good season. Let's just put single coverage on him the whole game.
Yeah, no, they would never do that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still Keenan Allen. Like that's still a threat. So to me, and I forgot to mention the Ravens' offensive line is horrible as well.
Yeah.
They're still putting up those numbers.
Well, whatever. Who's 7, 8, 9?
7, 8, 9. Right. Wait. So Lamar, I put Lamar at 6, right?
Yeah. And then
7, 8, 9. Okay, I'll probably put Herbert 7. Herbert he fits 7. 8. Man, 8. That's tricky. Like, I'll put Dak at 8.
Okay.
Unless am I missing some QBs?
Wilson.
So you said
Stafford, and that's it. I think you're missing.
Well, Wilson, you can't really he's hurt.
Okay, so go 1 through 7 again for you.
1 through 7. So we have Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I'm gonna just put Josh Allen at 3rd. I'm gonna put Josh Allen at 3rd, Murray at 4th, Rodgers at 5th.
Yep.
Lamar at 6, Herbert at 7, Dak at 8, and then
Russ at 9.
Yes.
No, I'm not even.
I think you do.
Russ. I'm not gonna put Russ in there because he's hurt.
Well, no, we're going off before. Let's say before this week.
Before?
I'd say he's 9. Yes.
You say 9?
I think he's
that low. Russ in there. He'd probably be 5th for me, and then everyone else goes back.
I mean, they were 2-2 before he got hurt, yo.
But that defense is
it's that defense. That defense is horrible.
Mahomes is 2-3, and we know what he's capable of. We know it's their defense. Like the quarterback can't do anything with the defense. If they're bad, they're bad.
They're on the field every play. Yeah, no, it's a struggle.
Yeah, I don't know, but then if we put Russ in there, Russ is my 5th, and then everyone else gets slided back, right?
Okay.
Then I'm at 9 and 10. I think Stafford would be 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10th.
He didn't look too great this past week.
Who? Stafford? I mean,
he had a messed up finger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
he had a very finger issue. And who was my 9th then?
You mean 10th?
10th?
Or 10th, I'm sorry.
10th would probably be
That's actually tough.
It would be Dak if you put think at 5.
Okay, is this a bold take? Is this a bold take? Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts?
That's very bold.
10?
That's bold because to me he did not look good at all in the Panthers game until like that last drive.
Yeah. And because I think he's very young. Not saying that age is the problem. I'm just saying young meaning like he's not developed the smarts, not the smarts, but the ability to be a top 10 quarterback, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to me he's still a rookie because he played like towards the end of last year.
Would you put Tannehill at 10?
I was thinking maybe
Tannehill hasn't really been impressing me this year.
Or Baker?
No, I wouldn't put Baker in there. I honestly put Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
I'm happy. Kirk Cousins is looking really good.
What about your boy, Freddie? Why can't you put in
Burrow?
No. Actually.
Not yet.
I was gonna troll and say Jared Goff.
Not yet.
Jared who?
Hell no.
That's so funny, Jared Goff.
No.
All right, bro. Hold on, bro. Okay, let me say my full list because I never got to. I'm gonna just do this quickly. Okay, so I changed it up. Brady, Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Josh Allen at 3.
Okay.
Before injuries, correct?
Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna go Russ at 4.
Okay.
Rodgers at 5.
Okay.
Lamar at 6.
Ooh.
Herbert.
This is where it gets interesting. Herbert 7, Kyler 8, Dak 9, Stafford 10.
Ooh.
Okay, I have a couple of problems. How are you gonna put a 5-0 Kyler Murray so deep?
You're right.
And he's played well. Like it's not like he's a 5-0 because of his.
Him at all.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, this is just like a question. Like how do we allow ourselves to play them so deep whenever they're 5-0, and he's played. It's not like their defense is phenomenal and that they're like he's playing good football. And for 2, I think you have to look at the Cowboys. That can't be like. I think Dak is better than Seahawks, Russell Wilson. I think he is.
I can understand that. Like, I'm not going to be mad at it about it. I'm not going to be mad because Dak has shown a whole lot of improvement.
I wouldn't even call it improvement, though. I would call it he was injured, and then he came back and was better than he was before.
Oh, no.
Sure, improvement.
What I was basically saying was like the first 5 games, he looked great. Basically, he picked up. I was saying like, it was a lot more improvement from not last season, but the season before that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
it's like to me watching these Dallas games. It's a whole nother Dak. Like,
it's a whole nother team.
Flawless. Yeah, a whole nother team. Like I remember before the Dallas Cowboys, we'd always be like, the mediocre Dallas Cowboys.
He goes
now,
W
they are
every week.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh, they are for sure. But who was your 9 and 10?
Dak and Stafford.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. These are always so
like
hard.
6 to 10, it's like so hard.
Yeah, it is. Because all these guys
there's
are playing well.
Because all those guys you can argue are like all like
top 3
equal or you could say that or just like equally good or just better than. So it's hard.
It's just a rough one, honestly. Yeah, but moving on to some of the games for this past week. Starting off with the Rams and the Seahawks. This game was like defense heavy until the fourth quarter.
I don't know about defense.
I mean, they scored 3 points. The Rams scored 3 points in the first half. Seahawks scored 7 points in the first half. I mean,
you're right.
I mean, looking at that, like defense heavy in the first half, at least. But after halftime, I think the Rams realized they needed to win the game.
and they put up 23 points in the second half. But yeah, I think with what's the kid's? I keep forgetting this man's name. With Wilson going down, like, is Geno good enough to like win them games?
So who do they play coming up?
I think they have a bye week this week. Actually, let me check.
No, they don't.
I
think they have like a pretty manageable schedule.
I mean, here's my whole thing about Geno. If they play bad teams or average teams, yeah, they'll probably win. Maybe like let's say they play like Bob, probably about possibly at the highest 3-2, at the lowest 1-4.
Yeah. So they play Steelers on Sunday and then Saints next Monday night.
Okay, so
I think they'll come out 0-2 in my opinion.
Well,
okay.
So he's gonna be out for what? 3 weeks? He's gonna be out for 3 weeks, so he's gonna be out this week, which is
no, I think it's longer.
No, it's like a month. It's like a month because they projected that it's gonna be like 4 games or something. So it's Steelers, Saints, Jacksonville, Packers on the 14th of November.
So they might be 1-3.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they could beat. I think they could beat the Steelers.
Ooh.
You don't think so? I think they could beat the Steelers.
I think 2-2. I think they could beat the Steelers and Jaguars, but I don't think they're not beating Green Bay and they're not beating who's that other team?
The Saints.
New Orleans. They're not beating the Saints.
The thing is with Geno, if the Steelers have a good defense, and that's gonna definitely like stop him from. That's what's gonna win the game. The Steelers are gonna win that game off of their defense because the offense is very average and mediocre, while the Seattle Seahawks defense is terrible. So, I feel like the Steelers will sustain drives and score, and I just think the Steelers are going to come out with that game.
Yeah, they probably will. Only because like Seahawks defense isn't good enough to keep Ben Roethlisberger's terrible play at a bay. So I mean, it could go either way, that game, honestly, because of how bad both of the teams are these days. But yeah, Rams defense is a problem. Like, they are good. Like, their corners are good.
They'll be fine. They have a pretty easy schedule coming up.
Yeah, but for them to allow Seahawks to go into halftime, I think they need to pick it up before halftime a little bit more. Could have just been the nerves being in Seattle. That stadium gets real loud. But that's all I got for that game. That game was pretty just a division game. With that, it was just a long, boring game.
The Seahawks game?
Yeah.
It was very interesting how the Rams defense started reacting when Geno Smith was in the QB. I mean, in the game.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you saw that? It's like they were like, "Oh, I want him." I know exactly what's gonna happen, and it's. Yeah. I mean, they won the game. I mean, he came in the fourth quarter. They put 10 points up on him. So I guess Geno. I don't know. He wasn't. Wait, who did he start off with? The Giants, was it?
He got drafted to the Jets, and he was like their starter his rookie year, and he threw like 20-something interceptions, so 10 touchdowns.
Where do you go to college?
The problem with Geno is he's basically the Jameis before Jameis, but without the very good plays. It was just a lot. He was he's notorious for turnovers, so that's what's going to kill them against the Steelers.
I mean, unless he cleans it up and looks good. We could come back next week and there was 4 touchdowns and 400 passing yards, huh?
I mean, this is going to be the best team he's had in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might can pull it off. I mean, I'm not saying he won't, but I just don't think it will be likely. I just think the reason Seattle's offense is so good is strictly because of Wilson.
Yeah. You got to remember, he still does have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and the rest of those weapons that he has.
Yeah,
so.
But he's the one throwing the ball.
He still has to throw the ball.
Get it to him.
I think he can.
Pray he doesn't get sacked. Russell's known for running around the pocket for like 10 years because his offensive line can block, and then somebody's open.
You got a point. Yeah, listen. It could be an interesting game, the Steelers and the Seahawks. But moving on, we have the lonely Jets and the lonely Falcons who played in London this week. So it was like a 9:30 game. This is pretty funny. I
still can't believe that was the game. I still can't believe
they put up 2 piles of trash and put them on a jet for 12 hours with the round trip. This is crazy.
Should have left him in London.
Should have left him. Listen, Zach, I don't know what's wrong with Matt Ryan and this is just these teams. Kyle Pitts finally showed up.
Yeah.
And of course I had him on my bench in fantasy this week. He was 100% on my bench.
Yeah. That was smart.
Yep, 36 points down. Well, not 36, 26 down the drain. But listen, these two teams, I don't know what they're. I think they're both paddling for that number 1 pick this year. What's wrong with the Jets?
I mean, what's not wrong with the Jets?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, the defense is terrible. Zach Wilson, he's basically like how Darnold put it. He's seeing ghosts. Like he just throwing picks to everybody. Like every game, he's at least throwing. Like there's always that one bad decision. And you're just like, what are you doing? But I think year 2 and 3 will definitely be better because I see the potential of I see the potential with him and whatnot. But and then to me, their receivers it's funny. They have a bunch of receivers that are like at best above average.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, you need that one good receiver that you're like if you need a first down, you can throw it to that guy. But they don't have any of them guys. They just have a bunch of above average receivers.
Yeah.
So and then the offensive line, oh my gosh, it's a joke. And because they can't, and another problem is they can't run the ball. If you can't run the ball, teams are going to know you're going to pass the ball, and then that's how it leads to more rookie mistakes and whatnot when he has to constantly pass the ball.
Listen. What I think, honestly, with Zach Wilson, I think you should have went like a Patrick Mahomes route. I think you get that veteran quarterback and you let him sit. But I think the only reason they didn't do that is because of the pressure that New York fans put on that team. And on to like Zach Wilson, because listen, at the end of the day, these kids are just coming out of college. They don't fully know like the whole NFL route, and they don't know the whole like what it takes to be a great NFL quarterback yet, right? And so for them, I think it's like, I need a season or I need 2 seasons to fully understand and to fully like get and to be able to read these cornerbacks, because these cornerbacks in the NFL, like Urban Meyer says, it's like playing the Alabama every week. It's like playing them every week.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness! But it's like that's what it is, and it's like I think Zach Wilson can be a good quarterback in this league. I think it's just going to take him some time. I do think the Falcons just got lucky. Jet lag helped them out a lot, I guess. But that's about it for that game. Moving on to the Lions and the Vikings. This game here, like
another sad loss for Detroit.
Yeah, I just want them to win so bad. I do. I want Jared Goff to do it. I want him to do his thing and win. But I don't think that's happening.
Play average at best. To play average at best.
Yeah, I wanted to do I'll be a great quarterback in this league again. Because he was one of the greatest quarterbacks in this league at one point.
He fooled you. He fooled all of us.
Hold on, bro. But what is wrong with Minnesota? They don't look good either.
I know Devin Cook's out.
Cook?
He's out.
Okay.
But other than that, they're all there.
Producing as well.
Madison had a really good game.
Yeah. I gotta pick them up in fantasy this week.
You can't say it's Dalvin Cook's out. The backup's playing just as good as Dalvin Cook.
Is it coaching?
I
It
hate
has
to
to
say
be.
it because
It has to
It
be.
might have
because I really do like their coaches. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Zimmer.
Zimmer. Yeah, Mike.
I don't like Zimmer. I don't like Zimmer. I've never liked Zimmer.
Really?
I don't think no, because I feel like he's like he always misses that final step to be a great coach. Like
but I don't think it's necessarily always him. Like it's just like this. Well, I don't know. Maybe this year, yes, because usually Zimmer's teams are notorious for good defenses, and that is their defense is far from being good, and that surprised me because they got a whole bunch of pieces back this year, and they're still not playing good.
Yeah, I think with them it's like I don't know. Zimmer just I don't know if he's like just not producing well, or they just made a couple of decisions during this offseason that just aren't working for them. But I do think that they need to like clean it up because like if they want to like be a winning football team this season, I think they need to win games because they barely beat the Lions. Like the Lions almost won again. Like you know, I don't know what it is. You know what's funny is like we see this happen a lot in some of these in the good teams the next season after. Like you see the Lions, they're just like 2 points every game losing by. But you know the season, I think next season is going to be their season. I think next season they're gonna start off like 3-2 and be top of the NFC whatever North.
Well, first they need first with their first pick they need to draft the quarterback. But the problem is what quarterback can they draft? No, he's not getting. Man. Why do you, if Sean McVay, right? Yeah. If he couldn't take it with Goff no more, what makes you think Dan Campbell and them can do it?
That's not my question to ask. You know. Well, listen, I mean he hasn't played terribly.
Detroit needs a lot is the problem too.
Yeah, Detroit's still the city of curses.
Detroit's still a trash team, even if it's close. Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, they like this next season they can have good. Like, if they can sign like a receiver or two, maybe because they have no true number one receiver. Like they have the same problem as the Jets. I
agree.
Like, but worse. Their receiving core is worse than the Jets.
I think they draft receiver first round. Well, no, not first round because they'll have a pretty high pick.
They'll probably trade back. And
they should trade back and get a receiver.
Yeah, that's their depth. They need a receiver more than a quarterback, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but they need a receiver more than that, and then they can hopefully make some key signings on their defense. But the only problem is who wants to willingly go to Detroit unless you overpay them.
Yeah, good point.
So it's kind of a weird, like free agency. It might be very silent for them because it's like unless there's people who really want to play in Detroit.
Who wants to really play in Detroit?
Not a lot of people. Yeah, more people would play for the Jets than Detroit.
Because at least you're in New York.
Yep.
Yeah. But they got high taxes in New York. But, yeah, I don't know. I think the Vikings are – I don't know. I think they're just missing their beat this season. I think Zimmer needs to win games or he's going to be out this season as well.
Yeah, another bad season like last year. I think he's on the doorsteps of being out.
Zimmer's gone. I do think the Lions bring their head coach back because I like him. I do like him. I like
you have to bring him back. Yeah, like, it's not his fault that the team sucks. Like
and it's a one season, so I think that's like I think the plan that in the Lions is like it's like a 3 to 5 season plan. You know.
Give him another season. If he does worse than what there are now, that's how you know it's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because but it's funny with back to the Vikings. Like I saw something where like the Vikings are like the best worst team. They're like one of the best worst teams that are actually good. If that makes sense.
Really, Vikings?
It's like they're good, but they're also really bad. And I remember me and Matt were talking about this and basically saying like the Vikings they have to have everything going for them perfectly. Like the defense has to play well. Kirk Cousins has to do well. The receivers, the run game, everything has to go perfectly for them in order for them to win games. And if one thing doesn't, they tend to lose.
I agree with that.
But I think for them,
they're not
like
good
their
with it.
receiving core, they have one of the top receiving cores in the NFL, and for them to not be able to put up at least 400, like 350 yards a game, I think that's the problem. That's a coaching and quarterback problem.
Definitely.
There's no way that Adam Thielen should be doing what the numbers that he's doing, or
Justin Jeffrey's doing what he's doing. Like, this should be better, in my opinion.
Yes. I feel it. And then plus they have Dalvin Cook as well in the backfield.
Exactly. Who's top running back in the league. But yeah, that's all for that game. He's gonna be here crying about him all day. Moving on to the Saints and the Washington football team. Jameis Winston. Listen, his interception was just one of those where it's like, it's where it's like, you know how, you're supposed to just take that sack, but you just throw the ball away instead. And that's his problem. It's like he doesn't know how to take the sack. He just wants to push the ball in the air every time he gets. And it's like he's going to cost us games like that.
It's actually funny. I didn't really watch the Saints and football team game, but it's funny because I can just picture how what Jameis did.
Oh, it's exactly what you think.
Because that's what he does. But it's just the scary part about it, though. If he can just eliminate that part about his game, he'd be in contention of a top 15 QB.
He'd be a top 15 QB, exactly. Taysom Hill went down this week with a concussion as well. So
I heard that was bad.
That was rough. Like he couldn't stand. Yeah, you hate to see it, but some Jameis does possess. He possesses that deep ball pass, like Badge. He can throw that thing up. Like he connected on a couple 60+ yarders, so that's good, I guess. He's just, I don't know. He's just a mess to me. Our offense is looking better, though. I'm not gonna lie. Our Saints offense looks really good. Our secondary looked fantastic this week against Tyler Heineke. Honestly, Heineke didn't look bad either.
How did he do?
His numbers were. I'll get them here for you. His numbers were 248 passing yards, but 2 interceptions. Like, I know that sounds bad on paper, but I think the Saints secondary held him to being that bad. Like some of the balls he was throwing were nice. His picks were just well played by the cornerbacks. Marshawn Lattimore had an interception. But honestly, he's not a bad quarterback. And I know that sounds like questionable, but he throws a nice ball. This is the first time I've ever seen him play, but he looked decent.
Okay. Well, I guess I gotta watch more games on him because I will say though,
go back and watch their highlights for the Saints and football team highlights. It's you can see glimpses that he can throw the ball really well.
Okay.
But other than that, I think our secondary looks better. I think our offense is clicking a little bit with what we have. Going into a bye week, that should be good. Get a week.
And Michael Thomas coming back soon.
Yeah, and after the bye week, so don't have to really stress about anything next week about the NFL. Just worry about fantasy. But that's all I got. Matt, you got something to add on to that?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really watch that game either, so I think it sounded like y'all covered it.
It wasn't much of anything fun. Saints actually almost lost this game, believe it or not.
That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, moving on before the slander starts because it's quick around here. Patriots and the Texans. So I wish.
You go first. I'm sorry.
I really wish Elijah was here. Because last week he dragged Davis Mills, dragged him.
Yes.
And now and didn't I say that he's gonna come out and he throws like 300 passing yards and three touchdowns? And I look at him.
Exactly
he threw 312 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and looked like a really good quarterback this past week.
It's funny. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was literally about to say I hate that Elijah's not here. Honestly. He was talking bad about him.
He was. He's dragging that man.
we were trying to explain to him is Buffalo's defense, and he's a rookie. And look, what he did against the Patriots defense.
They should have won that game. They should have won that game. Yes.
And David Mills looked really good.
Yeah, he did. Like he looked like he was ready to. Excuse me. And it being a rookie quarterback, he looked like he was a really talented NFL quarterback who's played for a little while. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're still going up against Bill Belichick, who's one of the greatest head coaches of all time.
Correct. Yep.
And getting 300 passing yards in their defense, I think just got unlucky for their defense. Just didn't perform the way they needed to. And I think Houston's a good, bad team.
Yeah.
Well, I can agree with you on that. Question: who's better, Houston or Lions?
I think Houston is better because, to me, they have a better team. I would say they're all.
I'm gonna say Detroit.
Ooh. Really? I mean,
so they're slightly closer to being like decent.
Yeah,
they're both horrible, but like they have more weapons. So what? Houston has Mills, Brandon Cooks, and then
they have three pretty decent running backs.
Okay, but they rotate them in and out. They're okay. Then for the offense, you got Goff, obviously. Technically, he's better than David Mills, but you can argue that later on.
Oh, really? We're going to argue that Jared Goff isn't better than David Mills?
No. Jared Goff is better than Mills. Right now. I can admit that.
Swift is just better than all of Houston's running backs.
That's true.
Same with Jamal Williams.
That's I
think so.
I don't know. They still have some pretty good running backs.
They have Mark Henry, Philip Lindsay.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Henry? Really, y'all? Mark Ingram.
David Johnson, and Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
I think either of them, you can argue that they're better than Jamal Williams.
Depends on the
Except for Mark Ingram.
And then just like I don't know if Detroit technically has better weapons because they really only have Hawkinson, but they don't know how to use them.
No, good point. Honestly, I do think that the Texans receiving core is better than the Lions. I think if you give Goff receiving core, he'd be 10 times better.
His former teammate Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Cooks had a rough game this past week as well, though.
But it's the Patriots. Belichick is going to take him away from Mills.
Yeah. Mills still balled out with 3 touchdowns, though.
He did. He looked very good.
Mac Jones, 23 for 30, 231 yards, 1 tub, one pick. Not terrible, I guess.
He's man, I really like Mac Jones.
I think he's growing into being a great quarterback.
To me, it's like he's
or at least
like
good.
The interceptions and stuff. It's just he's a rookie.
Yeah, that's gonna
happen. Yeah, but the future is very bright for Mac Jones. But the only thing that sucks is he's always gonna have to. Like, he has so much pressure on him because they're used to, Tom Brady and Belichick constantly giving them 10 plus wins each year. So that's one thing that's going to suck is the
expectations,
the expectations is like, bring us a Super Bowl. And it's just like sometimes, like, think about it, he might not even win a Super Bowl in his career, but I'm not saying that he won't have a good career. It's just that's the thing that sucks with being the next Patriots QB because you're constantly going to have to be in Brady's shadow.
I mean, but do you feel like they gave Cam that same thought?
100%, especially when they were losing.
Really?
And I think that also had a thing for a big thing for why they released him. Plus the Mac Jones drafting as well. But I think before the draft, I just think they were just so worried that they would be, have another mediocre season or whatever. So they just pulled the trigger on drafting Mac Jones but honestly, I think if they stuck with Cam, I think they would be in a pretty good position as well.
Listen, I think the reason they fully drafted Mac Jones is because they had the 10th pick, ninth,
Yeah,
10th
and
pick,
yeah.
and if
Wasn't
he
it like
falls that,
16th?
huh?
Wasn't it like 16th?
I want to say it's probably that too. It
Oh, I
was
think it
high.
was like
It was
15
a
or
very
something.
higher
A
like
mid
pick.
pick.
And I think
Yeah.
for them to like, if he's still on the board, they didn't have to trade down for anything. I think picking Mac Jones was 100% the play.
Yeah, I definitely agreed. They had to pick him at that
Yeah.
pick. Like he was right there for you.
Yeah, but
I was gonna zoned out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
That's just how it is. And that's listen. I think Mac Jones, he will be a good quarterback, but at the same time, it's just gonna come with the heaping, expectation and stress of being a Patriots quarterback. And so, yeah,
Yes.
I think I really hope he has a good career, but it's just gonna be a long one for him with the expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, moving on to the Dolphins and the Buccaneers. Is Tom Brady is he like 20 again? Like, what is that?
You can't tell the difference.
This man had 411 passing yards with 5 passing touchdowns. Granted, it was against the Dolphins, but at the same time, that's insane.
That's still impressive. Like
Heck yeah.
Miami has a good secondary.
Yeah.
And he's doing that on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's just impressive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Evans and Browns had over 100 passing yards. That offense is not slowing down whatsoever.
Not at all.
So when the Saints play them this year for the 2 times, just go ahead and mark it off. Just go ahead and pass the 2 L's already, because I don't think anyone can. Who do they have? Who else do that team have to play? Tampa Bay. Let me look.
They basically have the same schedule as like everyone in the South, so like they'll probably play like Washington. Did they already play Washington?
So they have the Eagles, Bears, 2 dubs back to back. Well, they got the Eagles Thursday night. If the Eagles beat the Buccaneers, I will laugh.
No,
you don't think so? I mean, they beat the lonely Panthers this past week.
And I'll get to it once we talk about the schedule. We talk about them. I'll get to it.
Yeah, I want to go first. But we got the Bears. They got the Saints. They got the Saints. You got the Washington football team, Giants, Colts, Falcons, Bills. They got the Bills. That's gonna be a one. It's gonna be a really good game.
The Bills might have the edge.
Bills will beat that. Yeah. Let me tell you why. Because I don't think Tom Brady's just I don't think this season he's seen a better cornerback, a defensive core than the Bills. So I think the Bills will beat. The Bills will beat the Buccaneers. At the Saints again, Panthers, Jets, then Panthers. So Panthers have my goodness. Panthers have Tampa Bay like twice in the final 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can mark the 0-2 right there. In there. You can turn that in. I don't know.
That's rough, man. That's rough. But yeah, man, Tom Brady, he's arguably one of the best players in the NFL right now.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah. Oh, well, he is. I think we're gonna put him ever for sure. I think he is the greatest player of all time. No matter what position, no matter what year, he is the greatest to ever play this game.
I can agree.
Yeah, Dolphins. Man, they just need to call the seasons a quit already. It's early and they're already stinking it up.
We'll see what happens, because I think Tua's coming back this week.
He is, yes.
So
I mean, but
if it was the QB, if Tua's actually good, then that's probably the problem. But if he just still is mediocre, just sucks, then
yeah,
it was all for nothing.
Pretty much. I mean, honestly, they have East. Yeah, they have Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets. They're not gonna make the playoffs. The Dolphins, they're not gonna make the playoffs. I think the Bills will probably be the only team that makes it to the playoffs out of this division.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Brady and the Buccaneers are gonna probably go 16-1. I think it's over for them. They're gonna they'll go 15-2 to the Bills, but I think that's gonna be it for them on losing this season. They are
they're clicking on all fronts. I think their defense still needs to probably put the question marks on, just because 2 weeks ago that close game they had.
Their secondary is really bad now.
Yeah, their secondary has been very questionable. That's probably the only.
And Levante David got hurt.
Oh, did he really?
Yep.
I remember. It's so funny. I remember when they drafted him. I was very upset because I knew they were going to draft him because I loved him in the combine. He runs like a four something, like a low fours, and I was like, he's going to just tear Drew Brees up every time he gets a chance. And now Drew's gone, so I worry about him taking up Jameis Winston. But yeah, that defense probably their only downfall to me is probably that defense. I think their offense knows what they're doing and will do that for the rest of the season.
Because that offense, man, you can't. On that offense, there's nothing that they lack in their position group. No, there's nothing they lack. They have like three.
Maybe running back. Maybe running back.
Yeah,
but like that's even like they don't really need them.
What? I wouldn't even say running back. I think they have three pretty good running. Like
agreed. Yes,
running backs.
Yeah, they're all good.
They can play anywhere else and get a good amount of playing time.
Yeah.
And the receivers are unbelievable. They have three very good tight ends. And
they don't even use much.
Exactly. And then they have a top offensive line plus Brady on top of that.
Man, they got Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin as they have three number one receivers.
Yeah. Antonio Brown's your third receiver. You're going to have a great offense.
That's ridiculous. That man had 124 points, 2 touchdowns this past week as well.
I guess being in Tampa, you just don't age, I guess.
Mike Evans had 113 yards, 2 tubs this past weekend. What is these numbers? What is this, y'all? Tom Brady just goes to other places and just turns into God, I guess.
It makes everybody a lot better around.
Heck yeah. I think because they see like the work ethic that Tom Brady puts in and how smart he is and like what he does, and they all want to be better like him.
Yeah.
And so he just brings a good culture into the locker room, and that's why they're 4-1, I guess. Who they only lost to? I can't remember.
The Rams.
Yes, that is right. Rams had a really good season, a really good game that week. But yeah, that's all I got for them. Moving on to the Green Bay Packers and the Bengals. This was a poor kicking game. Let's call it a spade. Bengals, they got to do better, honestly. I think them having the Packers down, they need to capitalize and stay onto that. Joe Burrow had a rough game. I think it's just an off game, though. You know, everyone always has a bad game. I think he just had his this past week, and I think he'll bounce back next week and do better. Packers didn't come out looking great. I think they are the worst team that's 4-1. I think their defense is a little questionable, and I think they need to really. I think they don't. Yeah, they don't look good, in my opinion. I think
they haven't hit their potential yet.
Not at all. Yeah, no, I think they're probably they don't look good. They look like a nice 6.5, 7 out of 10 to me. I think they shouldn't really. I think they are a team that thinks they're better than they are. But they are beatable. I do think the team is very beatable.
Yes.
I will say though, for some reason, I don't know why I feel like this went under the radar. Devontae Adams having 206 receiving yards. Are you kidding me?
I was gonna say that. Yeah. What?
That Bengals secondary.
Man. What in the world? 206.
Hey man.
11 catches and a touchdown.
Nuts.
That's insane.
I mean, Chase for the Bengals had 159 as well, though.
That's true.
That's big too. And you said that Devontae Adams had 206 yards, and their running back, flipping heck, Jones. What's his first name?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones still had 100 yards as well. So it's like, hey man, Aaron Rodgers and that team, that offense is just slinging it. Yep. 206 passing yards. Oof. Talking about a good game.
A great game.
Yeah, but I think the Bengals are a good team. I do think they are a good team, even though they lost. They probably should have lost. Yeah, but the Packers need to get it together. They're missed. And I don't know if it's coaching or I think it's probably talent that's causing them to be so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're a team that really needs to look at themselves and understand that they can be better than they actually are. But yeah, moving on to the Broncos and Steelers. This game, I don't really understand. I don't know. Steelers got lucky with this one, I guess. Claypool had 130. Najee Harris had 122. Big Ben 2 touchdowns. He only threw the ball 25 times. What?
Good.
Yeah, they only have to use. They just have to give it to Najee every play.
Yeah. He's becoming a great NFL player.
Yep.
And once Ben's gone, I think he'll transform that team, and their quarterback will transform the team into a really good team. I don't know. You remember a couple weeks ago we were saying that the Broncos are the worst 3-0 team?
Yeah.
I think it's starting to show. Because they lost their last 2, and now this week getting blown out by a terrible Steelers team. Or a terrible quarterback-led Steelers team is that's happening. It's happening now. But yeah, I mean this game, it's not really much to talk about. Not really bells and whistles.
All I have to say is I think their defense is a little overrated. There's a lot of confusion that goes on in that secondary. Like I've seen a bunch of big plays happen in that, and they have one of the best secondaries in the league.
What team?
The Broncos.
I agree with that. At least on paper they look good.
Yeah.
But I think they're just missing up how to fully connect all those weapons on defense.
Yes.
Yeah. Offense, I think their offense needs to be redesigned. I know Teddy Bridgewater's a really good game manager, and I don't think he can possess that with the likes of Cortland Sutton, and Noah Fant. Like Noah Fant only had 20 yards, 3 receptions. Like he's a top tight end in the league. That needs to be better.
But the only problem with Teddy, it's definitely from watching with Carolina.
Yeah.
It's like they don't get with he's your QB, you're not going to get a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, no.
You get more field goals and maybe a touchdown or 2 in the drive or something. He's not going to wow you and put up 30 or 40 points. Yeah. He has to have a great defense, and he has to be in. They have to rely on the heavy run game, and then possibly getting field goals. That's just how their offense is.
And I think that's why he really worked at the Saints. Yeah. I think the Saints understood that Teddy Bridgewater is a really good game manager, and that's something that we needed. And he went 5-1 with us. And so
yes,
I don't know. I do think that he can make that team good, but I do think that they need to understand what type of quarterback they do have, and need to fix the problems.
Exactly.
But moving on to a game that I want to talk about first, because I have a lot to talk about. Panthers and the Eagles. This game here is very.
Freddie, go ahead first, and then I'll give my piece.
Freddie, you want to go first? Want me to go first?
Sure. I'll go first. Yeah. I got a long list.
Hold on. Let me go first. Let me go
first.
Okay,
go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know if I said this on the last week, but the problem with the Carolina Panthers, and it's been a problem for years in the past, they just have a collapse.
Yep.
Every time.
We said
this. And it showed this past game. The Panthers were dominating the Eagles the whole game. Jalen Hurts had 30-something yards passing in the first half. What? They were dominating them, pressuring him, and picking him off and whatnot. The offense slowly kept, getting 3 and outs, turnovers, bad decisions, and then it led to bad special team play when the block punt, and then gave the Eagles very good field position, and then they scored, And then the offense threw a pick right after that. So I'm not even going to strictly say it was just the offense. I think all phases of the game where the Panthers made critical mistakes where they could have blown that Eagles team out. That Eagles team is not good at all. And the Panthers, they played probably 3.5 good quarters of football until the end when they just collapsed and looked like a completely different team. Like the defense wasn't looking good as it usually did. The offense was making horrible mistakes and stuff. So the Panthers, I hope that loss is a very good learning experience for them so they can realize that the problem is the problem isn't how good they are and whatnot. The problem is the mistakes they make. And that leads to them playing bad football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. You want to go next, Matt?
I was just gonna say, just the offense.
Mm-hmm.
The play calling was just super bland and generic and nothing creative, and it just seemed like it was the same plays. Like, Darnold did horrible.
Yeah, he had a rough game.
Like, Chuba Hubbard was the only, good, part of that game. The O-line still sucks. The Philly, I'll give it to them, they probably have, one of the best D-lines in the league. But that's it. So it's it's just ridiculous. So, yeah, that's my piece of it.
I think for your top receiver to only have 42 passing yards, that's poor. Sam Darnold did have a terrible game. I think that happens. I get it. But
yeah, and I hate the narrative of people are saying that he's he hasn't changed.
No,
bro,
good.
It's one bad game. Relax.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think the idea that you're gonna sit here and trash Sam Darnold after he had one bad game is unfair. I think everyone has bad games.
But even against Dallas, he did fine, except for those two picks. He did well. Yeah.
But yeah, yet again, like I said last week, I think yet again the Panthers come out at halftime dull, lackluster. They only scored 3 points in the second half. That's terrible for that offense. For one,
this is the thing: is they get so conservative because they usually have a lead.
Yep.
And then they just do these stupid inside runs, screens, plays that will get you nowhere. And it's I don't think you guys should be that conservative. I think you should just keep racking up the points, keep the tempo up.
Yeah.
Act like it's the first. Act like the game just started.
Yes.
Because you know what the Saints I hate to bring Saints, but you know what the Saints did? The Saints, whenever we go down, we be up big. Sean Payton's that quarterback. He keeps the foot on the gas. He never took it off because of things like this would happen. And so I think coming out the second half, only scoring 3 points in the rest of the game, that's terrible. That can't happen, and that needs to change. I also think going up 15-6 at halftime, you can't come back out and not score much. That's poor. It's honestly, it seems like you said, Matt, they went conservative. It almost felt like that they thought the game was over. They stopped playing football at halftime.
It seems like they do that a lot, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, like I said, Sam Darnold just had a bad game. Chuba looked good. His picks didn't look. Sam Darnold's interceptions were just not. They were just throwing to ghosts out there.
He was just throwing it. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
Philly's defense, though. Philly's defense won this game. Their defense stepped up big in the second half, holding the Panthers 3 points, obviously. And so all kudos to them. And Jalen Hurts just capitalized on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he just knew what he needed to do, and he did it. But honestly, and I also a piece of the blame has to go to the Panthers coordinators and coaches. I think you need to learn how to get your players back ready to work after halftime. And you can't you can't just be conservative play calling. You have to keep your foot on the gas for one. You're already up against a Philly team that honestly, they're good off turnovers. They're good off of teams collapsing fast. And that's what happened.
If you looked at that game, literally the only reason they scored is because it was because of the picks and then the block punt. That was it. A normal drive, they looked horrible.
They couldn't drive they couldn't drive the full length down the field.
It's like it's like counterattacking in soccer. Like they caught them out and they did what they needed to do, which was score. And they won the game ultimately. I did find it funny how Hurts hit the Cam Newton Superman pose after the touchdown.
Oh man,
that's the most disrespectful thing I've seen, and it made me smile. The biggest smile I've ever seen him out. Like he hit it too, and he didn't care at all. And I was like, oh, he just don't care. But it's something good. I do have a good takeaway from this Panthers game for the Panthers. Chuba looked good. I think if they can understand how to get Chuba and McCaffrey working together hand in hand, they could be unstoppable. But the logistics of that happening are really slim. I don't think that'll happen.
No, I don't think so.
Looked good. His legs look good. He ran for touchdown and 2 touchdowns, and he just looked like a complete quarterback in the fourth and third quarter. But yes, I think Philly does need Miles Sanders to produce more. That's a problem for them. He only for him to only have their number one running back to only have 45 yards. I think they have to get the ground game going. And that's all I have for that game.
Yeah.
I do just think Sam Darnold he'll be better. I think they shouldn't just throw a towel in already on him. I think that's just really rude and disrespectful. Yeah. But moving on to Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There's not much to say, to be honest.
There really isn't.
Derrick Henry things.
It's funny.
Jaguars win Jaguars.
The running backs on opposite teams are the best players on their teams.
Yeah.
Yes, I can agree with you on that.
Derrick Henry had 3 touchdowns for 130 yards. Woohoo!
Robinson, I think, had his best rushing
game easily. Yeah, 150 for 1 tub. Honestly, this game is just. I think Tennessee just realized that we can't get beat by Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We can't let the worst team in the NFL beat us. Oh wait, who's worse, Jacksonville or the Lions?
Jacksonville.
They're both 5-0.
Jacksonville.
And I think what makes Jacksonville so horrendous is their coaching.
Yeah.
I think the Jets have better coaching. I like Solid. I really do for the Jets, the head coach. But to me, the difference between those two teams is the Jaguars coaching is just unbelievably bad. Like, your best player is your running back. Why aren't you trying to give him the ball every play? Yeah. Been doing play actions off of it.
Yeah, and what makes me laugh about that, I think the coaching problem is like, I just lost my train of thought completely. Go ahead, Matt. Take it over. I have no idea what I was gonna say.
Well, we just knew that the Titans were gonna win that game, and there's nothing much else to say.
Urban Meyer's in the hot seat.
Is he gone before the season?
I don't think he's.
I think he should. I think now with the videos being released of him in the bar, he should be out.
Does he get fired or does he resign?
He's gonna get fired. He already said he's not. He never thought of resigning. If more comes out about this situation, he's definitely gonna get fired.
I don't think there's anything else. I think we saw what happened. I think we saw.
Yeah, you're right. Again, you never know.
Good point. But at the same time, I do think. Listen, I think he's losing that locker room faster than he wanted to.
Yep.
I think it's like he's on the brink of like just not being listened to by the players because there's a respect thing, and I think he's lost their respect, and rightfully so. Like, what head coach doesn't fly back after getting our behinds beat with us, but you're gonna go to the bar that night, get drunk, and just have this girl, this kid, honestly, but she was like 20-something, 21 years old. This kid on you, when you have a wife and kid at home, and you're like a NFL head coach. Yeah, he's on the hot seat for sure. Do I think he'll be done before the end of the season? I don't think so. I think they're gonna let it go out. I do think they'll just let it go out. But I won't be surprised if he is fired.
Because honestly, I think he lost his locker room the moment they signed Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I mean he's not wrong, and they're not gonna do it because they paid him too much money.
Yeah.
So if they will only do it if they have like, I mean they do have a legitimate reason to, but they aren't gonna do it. So if there's more that comes out again, then he's done.
I mean, if there's more that comes out, or if he doesn't win a football game
by at least week 10, he's gone.
My philosophy about rookie head coaches, you can't just give them a year. Like that's how I always.
No, but he's not good though. He's not a good coach.
He's not. But like, it's just my whole thing is you can't fire a coach off of 1 year. Like think about it. He might not be good this year. He might be way more improved next year. You never know.
Well, here's my opinion on, and this is only for Urban Meyer because I completely agree about not firing like rookie head coaches early. I think because he's lost that locker room, it's not going to be easy for him to get it back at all. And I think it's not going to be easy for him to establish a relationship or a connection with that team anymore. I think they all want him gone. And it's hard. It's a difference from just losing a game, but their head coach is loved, from losing every game and their head coach is hated. You know what I mean?
That's true. Because it's not like they're playing for him.
Oh, yeah. They're not playing for him. They're playing for that check at this point. Like, they don't – like, honestly, it looks like they don't care if they win or lose at this point in their lives.
Yeah, I mean.
Because it's like, well, look, we're playing for this terrible, like, piece of crap head coach who doesn't care about us at all and who treats us like dog. So why would you care if he gets fired or not?
That's true.
But I do agree with you on the philosophy that you should never fire a rookie head coach their first year. That's dumb to me. Don't sign him if you think he's going to be great that first year. What?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, moving on to where am I at? Chargers and the Browns.
High scoring game. Both put up 40.
Listen, they had a combined total of 89 points, 1,025 passing yards in total, 52 first downs, 12 touchdowns. Baker didn't look terrible until that final drive. It's funny. It's funny how we said that was going to happen, that he wasn't going to be that bad until the final drive because that ultimately has happened. Chargers offense looked really good though.
Yes.
But their defense needs to be better. Letting the Browns put up 42 points, that's poor.
I just think the Chargers, their whole problem is their run defense. Their run defense has been horrible all year.
Yeah, Nick Chubb put up.
For the Chiefs.
Yeah, Nick Chubb put up 161 yards with one touchdown. That's poor from them.
Yeah, their run defense is the problem on their defense. Everything else is like okay. Like to me, like everything people gotta realize with defenses especially, if you can't stop the run, that opens up everything else.
Yep.
So to me, if they like, I'm not even gonna say their secondary is bad. It's just they can't stop the run. So obviously everyone's gonna try to do run support, and then it's gonna leave people open.
And you help on that D line.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mike Williams also had a good game with 8 receptions, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. My boy Justin Herbert with 400 yards, 4 tubs. The normal stuff for him. Yeah, but I have a lot of slander for Baker some days, but I would say he had a good game. 300 pass yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not.
It's funny, I saw. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. But basically, the whole thing with Baker, I'm gonna go back to what you said about what we said with Baker and whatnot, and he proved our point. Like the first drive, he throws a dump off over the middle, and then they hurry up. They take forever to get to the line, and then he throws another ball. Like then he just throws 3 straight incompletions, and then a 4th down, and then they just don't get the first down. So to me, it just shows also time, clock management, the 2-minute drill. Like he is so. It's just that's not his game. His game is strictly relying on that good run, the rushing attack he has, and then building off that play action. That's his game.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's just sitting back and throwing the ball, teams can defend that way easier.
I agree. Listen, it's like we literally we predicted this last week. We predicted and we said that Baker is not that guy to lead your team down the field and score for the win. And it showed today. I mean, it showed on Sunday.
Yep.
But listen, both of their. I mean, what happened to the Browns defense? Like, didn't last week y'all were saying that they're one of the best in the NFL? Didn't look like it.
I think it goes to the secondary. The secondary got.
And they were banged up. And give it to them. I mean, the Chargers offense is really, really good too.
Yeah, they're firing on all cylinders at this point.
They're hot right now.
Yep, I can agree with you on that one. Their offense, like from their offensive line to their good receivers to Eckler, Herbert, like they're all clicking.
Yes, and really well as well. Like,
yep.
Listen. Okay, who like do y'all think he could be in? And if he keeps these numbers up for the rest of the season, could he be MVP, or is that week 1 and week 2 game gonna cost him MVP?
No, I think he can definitely be in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
if he keeps playing like he's playing, he'll definitely be in the conversation.
That man's insane, y'all. He's just insane, man. But that's it for me for that one. Chargers just needs to get their defense under control. They were their front seven anyway.
Yes.
But that's all for that game. Next game is the Bears and the Raiders. Matt, you predicted all of the you predicted that the Bears were going to win this game.
Yes. I mean, the Bears are just like talent-wise just better, I think.
Really?
Again, it's just Matt Nagy holding them back.
Yeah.
The Bears still have a really, really good defense.
Did Allen Robinson have a good game this week? Nope.
No.
What are they doing?
This is the problem. Again, Matt Nagy doesn't know how to use his top talent. And it's so aggravating because it's like you arguably have a top 10 receiver in the league and you just don't give him the ball. And it's I don't know.
I mean, when you have good receivers like that, it's like you make plays designed just for them.
Exactly. That's the problem. It's like they're not doing that.
And it doesn't look like they have a single one designed for him.
Nope.
And so I think it's just going to be – I don't know. I think Matt Nagy's gone. I think if the Bears are smart, they fire him.
They need to.
Do we think the Raiders are going to start going downhill now that Gruden's gone or what?
I don't think so.
I think it's up from here.
Yeah, I think it'd be hilarious if they actually end up being really, really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think Gruden was the problem holding them back.
Yeah.
They have good talent.
Yeah.
They have good talent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gruden just plays a slow, conservative game and relies on defense a lot. And he doesn't know how to run a high-powered, really talented offense. And so I think if you get a high-powered offensive coordinator or a high-powered head coach who was offense-minded, like what's your kid's name up in Carolina? Joe Brady or
Joe Brady.
I heard there was 3 names that I heard. I heard Joe Brady. I heard Josh McDaniels. I can't remember the last kid I heard. But
Bellamy. You can't forget about him.
Oh yeah, Bellamy, who deserves a job. Deserves a job.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think do they pick one in mid-season or do they wait till next season to pick one up?
It's gonna be next season. They have an interim head coach now.
I saw that. What defensive coordinator was it?
It's a special teams coach, but he was there He was there on Tampa Bay when Gruden won, when they won. But apparently he's a really, really good coach and like a really good guy. So it'll be interesting to see.
A lot better than Gruden is, I guess.
Seems like it. We'll see.
Oh,
likely.
man. I mean, but yeah, this game here was pretty boring too. These numbers from the Bears, like, they're so dull. Like, there's no receiver over 35 yards. There's no running back over 75 yards. This was just deep. It's a whole bunch of puntings, field goals. What, one touchdown?
Defense.
Yeah. I mean, I guess defense does win games. Am I right?
Yes.
But moving on to the Cardinals and the 49ers. This game was interesting. Trey Lance didn't look bad. He didn't look terrible at all.
Yeah.
I think go ahead.
Over time, that offense will be pretty scary once they get Lance going, and once they get that offensive line going, and then the receivers going. Like, I think that offense is going to be very hard to defend because I think Lance is the quarterback that Shanahan has always wanted.
Yep.
In all the right places, because he has a big arm. He has a big, strong arm. He can run. He can do it. To me, he's just like, once Lance gets to his full potential, he is a way better option to have than Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Because to me, Garoppolo is very limited because he can only stick in the pocket. He can only do. His arm is like it's not that big. It's a kind of it's not as big as Trey Lance. He's not mobile. He's just, I don't know. He's above average, I guess.
Yeah, and honestly, that pick that he threw the first play of the game. It was just a rookie mistake, like literally a rookie mistake.
Yes.
He had like 10 yards that he had a free space, but instead he threw off the run, which was pretty poor. But I think over time you'll see him grow and learn how to not do that.
Yes.
At the same time, this is a close game. I mean, a 5-0 Chargers. 4-0 Chargers team coming into this, and you're holding them to 7 points. I mean, within 7 points, that's not bad whatsoever.
Right.
But yeah, Trey Lance looks very special. I think he, like you said, he could be very, very good. He's a fast like quarterback, like very, very quick on his feet. He decent decision making. He plays like he wants to be like a 4-year vet, but he's still a rookie, so it's like it's some hindrance.
Right.
But ultimately, penalties costed the 49ers this game. The flag was out so many times. It was just no way they could win with that many flags. Just a couple holding calls, just a lot of stuff. But Trey Lance also needs to learn how to dive. He took a big hit running for the touchdown, and he needs to understand that that's not okay.
No,
he needs to go down.
You can't. Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got for that. You got something for that, Matt, or is that it?
No, I think y'all got that one.
Yeah, but next game we got here's a big one: Chiefs and the Bills. Wait, no, I missed one. Yep, I missed one. Giants and the Cowboys. That's where we're at.
Poor Giants.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of injuries.
Saquon's out.
Daniel Jones
got carted off with that bad concussion. It was bad.
That was scary.
Yeah, I hate watching stuff like that. That was rough. But hopefully
Galladay.
Yeah.
Galladay got hurt.
But the rookie
up.
Went off. Yeah, before he got ejected.
Darius Toney. Yep.
Before he got ejected for swinging.
He looks good.
Heck yeah. What was his numbers? Yeah, 100.
He had like 10 catches, 189 yards, and like 5 yards rushing.
Ooh.
He broke Odell's previous rookie record.
Yep.
He was moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, out of 10, I give the Cowboys performance like a 6. They played they played a banged up and broken Giants team.
They did, but I think they still looked pretty better than us. They looked a lot better than a 6.
Okay, 7. They played the Giants. Come on. They played the Giants.
They can't control who they played.
No, listen. I'm not saying this like as a hindrance, but I'm saying like I can't give them a better score than that. I can't because they put 44 points up, but they're just running the score up after Daniel Jones went up. Who even is the Giants' backup quarterback? Mike Glenn.
Mike Glenn.
Yeah, exactly. So it's whatever. But my boy Trayvon Diggs still look good. He is the best corner in football right now, in my opinion.
Ooh.
He got another pick today.
I mean, he's good, but we can't disrespect Jalen Ramsey. I'm sorry, like my man Trayvon Diggs can have 20 interceptions, but Jalen Ramsey is still that dog. Like you're not gonna throw the ball on Jalen Ramsey's side. You just not.
I mean, with Diggs too, he let up. How much did Tony have? Sorry.
Tony had like 189 yards, and he was the main guy.
Exactly. Like, that's so bad.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Like, just because you get some – I mean, technically that pick was kind of garbage time, but, like, still, don't get me wrong, he's been doing great, but it's like the games where he's gotten those, like, big picks, he just gets them at the right time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, were they –
and it's like –
yeah. I guess.
With
safety?
What was I trying to say? So, like, against, like, DJ Moore, he looked horrible. And then he got those 2 picks, and people think he's, like, the best corner ever in the league. And I'm like, no.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. One of those picks were pretty good.
Oh, they were nice.
They were good picks.
They were good picks, but, like, he's literally on pace to give up, like, almost 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Like, that's horrible.
Yeah. Good point. Cowboys did run a play, like a trick play that was really nice design. It was like a fake pitch to Zeke.
Oh yeah.
Fake to the left and then right back over to Zeke.
This dude Logan Ryan got lost.
Yeah, he did. He would have had me lost.
Yeah.
Dak looked good, even though he's throwing over these corners for the Giants. They're not good. Like, listen, Dak's looking good. I like Dak a lot. I think he is top 5, or no, he's top 6. At 6.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna argue with you about that.
Zeke looks good.
Like,
yeah,
Zeke looks good. Saquon's just getting unlucky, man. That injury was rough.
That was. Thank God he's not out for long.
Yeah, right. Off the ball.
About 2 to 3 weeks potentially.
It's he just turned it over really badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for that game, I guess. Next game, we got Bills and the Chiefs. This game here.
Wild.
If you didn't think Josh Allen was that guy, you do now.
Yep.
315, 3 tubs. That's just, I don't know. I know they had a rain delay. That was for like what, an hour, 45 minutes, an hour.
Can I have a bold prediction?
Uh-oh.
For the playoffs.
Should I get the notepad out?
Do it.
Get the notepad out. Tell me the prediction. Here we go.
This is such a stupid prediction. Okay. The Bills and the Chargers will play in the AFC Championship.
That's bold.
Oh.
How's that bold?
That's going to be one high-scoring game.
Who wins that game?
The Bills.
Bills.
I think the Bills. I think the Bills will go to the Super Bowl this year.
That was my preseason guess as well. I got the Bills. I probably have the Bills all the way.
It's between the Bills, Cleveland. Chargers.
Out of the other,
I don't trust the Chiefs right now with that defense. That defense is so bad. Like, they're not. Yeah.
Holy
Cleveland's not a bad team, but it's just like with the Chiefs, they'll obviously make it to the postseason because of Mahomes.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna, like, if they have to, like, again, if they go against Buffalo, it's over, I think. Or even the Chargers again. I mean, because they play them twice anyways. So it's like for the playoffs, you need to have good defenses to make it far. So that's what I think.
It's just very interesting to me that the Chiefs are this bad. Like their defense is this bad.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's because like this offseason, Chiefs focused so much on their offensive line on their offense that they didn't even look at their defense.
Their offensive line doesn't even look that good either.
Well, I mean, they look better than last season.
Yeah, you're right, but it's like barely.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at the absence of Chris Jones on that D line. That I don't think I've seen Josh Allen had so much time sitting there.
Just standing in the pocket.
Sitting. Yep.
And he also still had, he had a rushing touchdown with 59 yards. Like he still had a. I think the Chiefs defense is going to be the downfall of this whole Chiefs team.
It is. Unless they do something soon, I don't know what they can do because this defense is bad.
I don't think it'll be this year that they do something about it. I think it's next season.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs have an off season this week. Do I think they make the playoffs still? Yes.
Yes.
But I don't think they make much noise. They might go to the AFC Championship game.
But that's it. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
again.
No, I got Bills all the way this season. Yeah. Sucks to see that happen though for that team. That's all I got for them. Like Bills went into one of the hardest stadiums to play in, and they did what they needed to do, and they did it really well. So it's not much to really say. Chiefs just need to. Well, here's the question I've asked all week. I meant for the past 3 weeks. Are the Chiefs in trouble? Should you be worried?
I'm not worried. I'm just worried about that defense.
That's we'll just keep going back to that. That's the only problem. That's the only problem. Their offense is still elite.
Yeah, but and then also another thing they need to work on. They need to work on establishing a run game. Like
yes,
you can't Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even though he got hurt, he's a pretty good running back, and you need to at least give him at least 15 to possibly 20 carries a game or touches at least. Like get him involved in the passing game, get him involved in the run game, and all that. And then teams are like, oh, we gotta defend Clyde now. We gotta defend Clyde, Kelsey, and Tyreek Hill. So to me, they're not balanced enough. They just get super pass happy, and then teams are starting to realize that the teams that have played them before multiple times are starting to realize that, like the Chargers and the Bills, they're realizing, okay, well, if we take away Kelsey and Tyreek, then what else are they going to do? And in pressure Mahomes, what else are they going to do? And that's what their teams are doing. And teams are watching the Bills game and the Chargers game, and they're going to start to figure out, okay, we can start running this type of defense against Mahomes and them because they're just going to try to throw the ball more than us.
Yeah, they 100% are struggling, like when it comes to like defenses needing to be able to guess where's the pass to throw. I think every single time a defense comes out against the Chiefs, they're like, oh, they're passing the ball. Yeah. So there's no reason that they need to blitz. Even if they even blitz, listen, they can blitz 4 or 5 and still get to Patrick Mahomes. That's how bad the offensive line is. And it's like they're struggling drastically to protect Mahomes. They're struggling drastically to establish a play action and establish a good run game. Even Edwards-Helaire is out now. Like I don't know. I think the offense needs to be looked at and restructured as well. I think this whole team just needs to be like revised.
Yeah,
it's like whenever you like work every day and you like overwork yourself for like 3 years and then you finally just pass out that one day. It's like your body needs to be restarted. And so this is them. They need to be restarted because I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I personally, I'm worried about the Chiefs. I am. Really? Not to the point of like they don't make the playoffs, but to the point where it's like they need to understand that this isn't okay.
Yeah.
20 points at home for the Bills is not enough for me.
Yeah, I can agree.
But yeah, last game of the week is the Monday night game. A really good one, actually. Indianapolis Colts against the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson. You know, we had the debate last week if Lamar can throw or not. He threw 442 yards with four passing touchdowns. I guess so. I guess he can. Right. 37 for 43 as well.
He broke a record. The highest completion for a 400-yard passer.
86%, y'all. It's 86% passing. I think he listened to the podcast and was like, all right, I'm going to show them.
He had to, because y'all was talking like he was just terrible. And I kept trying to tell y'all, don't disrespect the former MVP.
Hey,
like Lamar is one of the top QBs in this league. He can throw the ball when he needs to throw the ball. It's just the only concern is just his receivers. And
let's be honest.
They showed up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest though. Carson Wentz didn't look terrible. By any means.
Carson Wentz had a good game. The Colts had a good game.
The Colts should have won the game. They should have won the game. But guess who lost? You know, kicking yet again this week. But yeah, I think Carson Wentz had a phenomenal game. 25 for 35, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's good numbers. That's MVP Carson Wentz right there.
And that's a career high for him, 400 yards.
I mean, like Mr. Glass held up, man. He didn't crumble last night.
And I heard he's the most healthiest he's been this whole season.
Okay, Mr. Glass. We'll see if they can do anything about it. I don't think they'll be do anything about it this season. I think next season maybe if they can rally together I think their coach is just he doesn't know what they're doing.
But honestly, I can see the Colts sneaking up in their division. Their division is not good.
Well, they have,
and they're about like 3 games behind or 4 games behind.
They're probably the worst division in the league.
AFC North, South, North.
Yeah, and the Colts are like the best 1-14 in the league. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, it's Tennessee, the Texans, Colts, Jacksonville. They could sneak into that number 2 spot.
They could. Like the Titans are not good.
I don't think they'll be better than the Titans. I think you're forcing it now.
I
think the Colts have a way better defense.
Yeah. Well, the Titans? Yes. Good point.
Yes.
I mean, they held Lamar in the first half to only 3 points.
You're right.
Yeah. Then the second half just happened. It was just like, what in the world, Lamar?
He decided to show up for work. You know, I think he wanted to show that, oh, yeah, I'm that guy still. Watch this, man. Watch this. And he put on a show for us last night.
Yep. That was definitely a show. Like,
oh, yeah.
And to me, Lamar, like, you can't disrespect my man. Like, last night, they were down, I think it was 25-3, and then Lamar fumbled in the goal line. At that moment, I was like, okay, the Colts got this game.
Yeah.
They came all the way back and beat them in overtime. Throwing 400 yards, like you said, 4 touchdowns, and have 50 yards on the ground. Like, what else does Lamar need to do?
Hey, man, I do think, for what am I saying? I do think that Lamar, you have to take your hats off to him for this past week. I think he showed that, even if we're down, I can still bring our team back, and I can put the team on my back, and I can win this football game because he did. He actually did, and I do put my claps out for him for that. Good for him.
Yep. Good for him.
But that's it for our recap for this game this week. Next week is week 6. Bye week start. Next week's bye week's teams are the Saints, the Falcons, the Jets, and the 49ers. So, those teams are going to have a week off to figure out what they need to do to get their lives together. But for the Thursday night game for this week, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Eagles. Eagles at home.
Tampa big.
I got Tampa. Next game.
He has a 3-touchdown pass game. That's my prediction.
Do we want to write these down again to keep a tally?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can always listen back.
Yeah, you're right.
Who's gonna write them down? Me. All right, I'm done. I don't mind.
Okay.
Brady has what? Oh no,
3
the
touchdowns.
predictions. I think Elijah's gonna go back and listen. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not writing those out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next game, Dolphins, Jacksonville.
Dolphins.
Jacksonville.
Don't even act like that's a hard decision. That's the Dolphins.
No, Miami.
But this is hard for me. Actually, this is hard for me.
What? Don't stop it. Just stop right now.
If Jacksonville pulls off the upset, I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't say it will be an upset either. I think it's just be the win.
That's a huge upset. I don't care. You lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is an upset.
Good point. Yeah, I'd cry myself to sleep, man. No, I got Miami. Yeah, Miami.
No, Miami.
Next game, Kansas City, Washington.
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's
what.
Let's see how many.
Four touchdowns.
I think Heineke. I got a prediction for Heineke.
Oh, I'm gonna write this down. What about my Sir Heineke?
He'll throw for 200 yards and 2 TDs.
That's fair.
That's
that defense.
Like reasonable.
Literally put a high school quarterback against that defense. He'll like Jesus.
Next game. Well, yeah, I said Chiefs as well. Rams, Giants, Rams.
Yep.
Rams. Like not even a question.
Texans, Colts. Ooh.
Colts. Colts look really good. They look good Monday night.
Those look good too, though. Davis
Mills. I mean,
I'm still going with the Colts.
I'm going with the Colts, but I won't be surprised if the Texans come out with the win.
I got Colts at home.
Okay.
Bengals, Lions.
Bengals.
Bears, Packers. Bears at home.
Packers.
Or actually, no. I'm gonna go with the Bears. Because
the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears.
I'll take the Packers because the Bears secondary isn't scary enough that Aaron Rodgers would be afraid.
But that front seven's scary enough to hit him.
Yeah, good point.
It is a new O-line.
Yeah.
We'll see. I still think Green Bay will win that.
Khalil Mack will continue his streak and have a sack. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. But I do have the Packers against that for that one. Next game, Chargers, Ravens, both 4-1 teams.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Ravens.
Chargers.
Because here's my thing. Because the Chargers aren't going to be able to stop the run. And if you can't stop the run, that opens up the passing game. And that leads to a Ravens victory.
Is the Ravens defense going to stop Justin Herbert?
That's the only concern.
That's going to be another high-scoring game.
Yep.
The secondary is not good.
Me as the Justin Herbert fan, I got Herbert and the Chargers winning this game.
I'll go Baltimore.
I'll go Baltimore.
All right, next game we have the Vikings and the Carolina Panthers.
Honestly, I hate to say it. The bias me is gonna say the Panthers, but realistically, I think the Vikings are gonna win this game and give the Panthers a 3-game losing streak.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I got Panthers.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be the first time they did this.
I'll go. I'll go Carolina.
But my pick's officially going to be Carolina, though.
Okay,
but
same here. I got Carolina as well in that game. Next game, Cardinals, Browns. Cardinals. But the Browns, Cardinals.
Browns. I got them with the upset. Browns with the upset. I think Myles Garrett's going to affect a lot of things with Kyler Murray. And then the Cardinals aren't going to keep up with that run game.
I'm going to go Arizona.
Arizona as well.
I got Browns.
Wow. Next game, Raiders, Broncos. Ooh.
Broncos get back on track.
I'm gonna go Vegas.
So it's 1-1. I don't know, y'all. I'll go Vegas. Next game. Cowboys, Patriots.
Cowboys.
Agreed. Cowboys as well. Seahawks, Steelers. Seattle.
Steelers. I got the Steelers.
Where's that game?
And Pittsburgh.
Man, like Davion said, if the game's in Africa, I still got the Steelers.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
I said Seahawks.
Okay.
I think Geno Smith has him, man. I think I got faith in my boy.
Alrighty then.
And then last game of the night. Yo, that's Sunday Night Football too. That's gonna be a terrible game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just looked. That's gonna be a terrible game. Oh, we want to watch that. But yeah, Monday Night Football, Tennessee Titans versus the Bills. Bills.
Blowout.
Yeah, probably.
I got Allen. Don't hear me out. Allen's gonna have 400 yards, throw for 3, and rush for 1.
404 TDs. That could happen though.
That's secondary for the Titans,
awful.
and their whole defense is terrible.
Yeah, well, we shall see. But before we go, our total records on predictions right now in the past 3 seasons? 3 weeks, I think it is. 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
2 weeks, something like that. Elijah, who was not here, we missed so wholeheartedly today. He's at 19-13. Matt and myself are both at 21-11. Freddie is at 18-12 with 2 no votes, which doesn't make sense. Freddie, come on, listen to us.
Hey man, I don't know. I'm gonna pick it up.
13, yeah, 13 losses for Elijah, 19 wins. Me and Matt are sitting at number ones in the predictions right now. So, yeah, that's been it. That's been another good episode of the post game. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all too for coming on and joining today. Really appreciate it. I have been your host, Davion.
All right, and I'm Freddie.
And I'm Matt.
And this has been the post game.